Hey everyone, I've had a lot of requests over the past few seasons to make an everything you need to know about Sandlord guide, so I figured now's the time, we'll get into it, we'll dive into it. The first thing you need to know about Sandlord this season, ever since it went core, is you need to force it into your maps via compasses or the void chart, and once you have it in your maps, it'll show up like this, as a jump pad we call it. And all you do is you run over the jump pad and you'll start getting swarmed by all these Sandlord Oasis monsters, and they will drop gold and workers, and every once in a while you'll see meat and resources. These are things you need to refine your chef products from the chef stand. You'll get various wheats and meats and stuff and all that goodness. So that's the main thing you need to know is you see these jump pads in your map, you fight them, you gather coins and resources to refine for future stuff. Now, how do you get it in your map? Well, we go into the void chart here. Now, what I'm going to present to you is a deep space version of the void chart that I'm using, and I'll go over to that in more details. But more importantly, for Sandlord, the biggest thing you need to do is either force it in with these 15 points here, or use the compass. Once you have that done, I recommend, if you're serious about farming Sandlord, to pick up all the Sandlord points. They're all pretty usable. This will give you more waves, this will give you more dudes, more bosses, and chance at doubling your coins. All of this is really, really good and will make the process go a lot faster. To the point where if you do it efficiently, you'll only need to do this for like 1, maybe 2 days a week, depending on your playtime, and you'll have enough resources to last you for the whole week, if not longer. So that's good. You can swap it around. The big benefits to Sandlord, the main thing you're looking for here is drop quantity. The more drop quantity you have, the more coins and stuff, resources you'll gather while you're doing the event. So drop quantity is great. Doing fast in-map mechanics combined with this is what you're looking to do. Preferably the ones that also synergize with drop quantity. So pre-deep space, probably the best thing you can do here is a Sandlord cube hybrid, where you'll either use the cube compasses and pick up all these cube points down here this way, more gamble chances. Pretty much everything gets thrown into cube. It's like 44 points, 43 points or something like that, plus the 24 you need in Sandlord. And that's probably your best go-to prior to deep space. But since I got into deep space, cube was, it was okay, but it wasn't like what it used to be. And I really, really wanted to get into those level 90 Arcanas and Nightmares while I was in deep space. And deep space has more drop quantity, as well as the level 8 workers. So if I'm going to be in deep space, I decided to go with the Arcana tree. And we're going to throw in these points here to make Arcana more juicy. I put these 2 points in here for survival and other, which are the ones that I need for myself. And they're also quite valuable. Summon is also a valuable option if you're looking to do that. And then we had 5 extra points left over here. So you could take this 1 point and throw it into summon if you want. You got 4 points here for normal monsters and drop quantity. If you don't like that, you can move these 4 points over to the Nightmare tree to get the boss to spawn, to get the chance at the additional card to show up. You can get not pulled in. You have these 4 points. You can play with them as you want. I'd like them over there. As for the big nodes, we have the additional drop quantity. 25 of our star talents are spent here, as well as the drop quantity over here. Now, if you can't get through the stage without dying in deep space or profound or wherever you're farming, you can get rid of these points and throw them into the rarer cards. The rarer cards are good, especially for Arcana, where you really, really want these rare cards to make most value out of your legendary compasses, as well as your Sandlord cards will be rarer. All in all, it's just pretty good. So if you can't stay alive, I recommend going over here. If you can't stay alive, these are the 2 you want. So this is my deep space version, and it's meant to farm the Sandlord. The deep space mechanics, I get in and out quickly. The compasses I use are the Sandlord compass, the Nightmare compass, the Arcana compass. Usually, if in deep space, I will be using the legendary. If I feel like it's a really, really, really bad chaos card, I will dumb it down to a purple or a blue one to be cheap. And then finally, I am using a strength and numbers compass. You can, if you want to spend a little bit more, use the Sinful Plunder options to get more universal drop quantity everywhere from all monsters. However, there are a lot of normal monsters that spawn in the Sandlord mechanic that feed you some good stuff. as well as in the maps, as well as I put it in my void chart, as well as the Arcana monsters I'm doing are also, a majority of them are normal, and they help out here. Maybe not, I don't know. But the point is, it's like 2 FE versus 20 plus. So I like the cheap ones here. Feel free to probe as you want, and those are the compasses. Now that's everything you need to know about the Sandlord in the Nether Realm, but that's only half the problem with Sandlord. You need to know what you do with all this sand money, right? So first thing you're gonna have to do is level up your town, and there will be a little mini quest here on the side that will guide you along this process. It'll tell you level this up, put a worker here, all that sort of stuff. I don't have it available to show you because it's already done, but it'll just follow those little mini quests and it'll help you level up your town. You will hit some blocks as you're leveling up the main thing where you will need to kill Ordok. Ordok is the big boss in town, and you'll need to get to certain breakpoints to level up your town. I think the first one is somewhere around 660, then it goes somewhere around 1290 or 1660 or somewhere around there, with the final one being like 2200 or 2660 for the deep space unlock. And once you've done the Ordok breakstones, you'll be able to level it up. As you level up your town, you'll be able to find higher level workers. Once you get to 8, which is the highest level, and you go into deep space maps, you'll find level 8 workers, which is very, very important, as I will show you here. As these level 8 workers will come with tier 0 mods. These are much, much stronger than their level 7 counterparts. See, 17, 17, 23 versus 25, 25, 28. So significantly better rewards and more value for your time. Same thing for all the units here, the gliders, the miners, and all that stuff. What you can do here with your gold is the idea is to level up all your islands. You don't need to do all of them, but you do if you want to get to the blending, which we'll get into in a minute. But the idea is to get all your islands to level 8. And while you're doing that, what I recommend to do is just do the requirement for the order. So the bare minimum here, while you're leveling it up, you send that, you ship it, you'll gain progress. And depending on how leveled up your town is, you'll be able to level up your islands and eventually get them all to 8. Once they get to 8, at this point, you have 2 options, in my opinion, for most efficiency. You can either do full shipments here. As you can see, it's a good big old 40 million shipment over to the Oasis, the Jungle Island, sorry. And this will give me a big reward. I will do this at the end of the video. We'll see what happens. All right. The other option you can do is do shipments over on Utopia and level up the Utopia. Now, the Utopia in general will cost you more and will give you bigger rewards, and it will take longer to do. Once you get this to level 8 is great because you'll get access to these resources as well, and you'll get much, much more of them. But it will also take much, much more resources to do a full order. So if you have infinite amount of playtime throughout the whole season, this is probably the place you want to hang out. If you only have limited amounts of playtime and you only want to, you can do a shipment once a week, blah, 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 Jungle Island will probably be your friend. I haven't really done much exploring with these. These have been kind of meh. They all need the same amount of resources. Nothing crazy in comparison. I like these two personally. All right. Now, how do you get these resources and what are they? What is the best way to get them? Well, you get your level 8 workers and you set them up. In my opinion, you're looking to get as much of the desired resource, water here, and if you can, get a combination, something where it's costs less as well. It's really hard to find these, but let's see if I have any. Jam water, jam jerky, jam water, bread. So here you go. So I got this is giving me more bread while making the cost go less. If these were tier 0, level 8 would be the best possible cat you can put here, and that's what you're looking to do. You do the same thing for all your sections here. You want to get the best cat you can find, preferably that has positives and negatives. Like this one's really good. I gain maximum dark steel while reducing the dark steel cost per hour. So this is ideally what we're looking for. We're going to load up all our cats in the best possible combination we can to maximize our production per hour. Once we have all that produced per hour, we can now go over here and ship it. Now, a lot of people have been asking and wondering, what are the most efficient ways to do all these shipments, and I will show you now. So I've made this calculator, and what you can do with it, I'll share it in the description, is it'll show you that dazzling gives you 96 shipment value per 1 unit. All right. And if I make 239 dazzlings, for instance, if you go over here, I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we go to my dazzling down here, I'm making 239 dazzlings, correct? So I put that 239 into this number. If I was making 250, I would change it to 250, and this number would change. Right? It's a little calculator I put together. So because I'm making 239 an hour, I am essentially making 22,944 order value per hour every time I'm farming dazzling. With my current bright production rate, I'm making 25,000 order per value. So this will give you an idea of which resources, based on which pets you have, which cat workers you have, will give you the most beneficial return per hour for your orders. So just add, you don't need to change these numbers, and these numbers will automatically change. The only ones you need to change in the calculator are how much you are making per hour. This can change based on which cats you're using, which is very important. Ideally, once you get to a point, you can, in theory, realize, oh, my production line of, colorless is not very great. I want to change colorless to dazzling, because dazzling's giving me 96 per unit, and I'm making so many units per hour that this is just so much more beneficial than here. So you can switch this to do double dazzling, right? But what you're going to want for this is another 3 sets of dazzling pets to match it, right? See how this is not the same? Now I'm not making as much as I was in the first one. I'm making much less because I don't have the cats to match it. So eventually, once you farm up enough cats, you can min-max your way to get the maximum value per hour per shipment with this calculator to just speed up the process a little bit. So that's a big help. Next thing we need to talk about are the blendings. You'll level it up the same way. You're going to hit breakpoints. You do need to level up the islands, which I mentioned. Doing minimum orders at the beginning is what you're aiming to do. Once you have your blending stuff set up, you will be able to blend on your belts. This is very important. You got the special unique ones that are only available here. You got some core talents you can play around with, kind of like a pedigree slate, but on your belt. You have some universal talents, like for my control, Taya, she really likes +1 max channel stacks, for instance, is a really good option out of this pool here. And then you got all the recipes, literally all of them are here. These all cost different amounts of resources, and you gather these resources by completing big shipment orders, which we will go to in a minute. The other thing you can do here is the aroma shop, so you can upgrade your stuff. So I have a bunch of level 1s that they're pretty useless, you know? So I'm going to upgrade them all to level 2. You know, maybe I'll bring this down a bit to keep some level 1s, just in case, you know, yeah, we'll bring it down. We'll keep a little bit of a supply. Why not? So we're going to upgrade to get 150 level 2s. Now we're going to take all these level 2s and do the same thing over here. And we'll downgrade this to about 75, keep a backup supply, and we'll upgrade these, and so on and so forth. And you can work your way all the way up to either, which maybe 4 is worth more than 5s. So it's not worth selling, upgrading all your 4s. Maybe it's better to sell your 4s, since 4s sell for more than 5s, and then you buy 5s to upgrade to 6s. Like, this is something you're going to have to check the auction house on, because the prices change so much. But there was a point in the beginning of the season where 4s were selling for like 50 bucks each, and 5s were selling for 10 bucks each. So it made no sense to upgrade the 4s. And this weird bottleneck choke point, or whatever you want to call it, may happen at different points. In a perfect world, if everyone's paying attention, you know, 2 should always cost, you know, 3 times less than a 3, because you can take 6 times less, because you can take 6 of these to make 1 of these, and 6 of these to make 1 of these. So at any point, it doesn't add up, that the prices don't match, then you want to, you know, sell the lower resources for the maximum return in the auction house and buy your way up to the level 9s, or whichever ones you need for your blending recipes. I believe, oh, finally, this is very important. You do need to dismiss your cats, as there is a limit. So if you don't keep up to this, you will hit a limit of your 200 cats, and then you won't be able to gather any new ones. And if you're not dismissing them, you're going to end up with a bunch of bad, cats you don't want. So you got to come here regularly and manually click and dismiss them. I don't want any level 7 cats, so we'll just get rid of all of those right away. It's easy for me to figure that out. You click on them, you dismiss them, you see those 3 cats being dismissed. They give you some money, which is great, but it's very, very, very important that you dismiss your cats and you don't hit this cap, or you'll stop getting new ones. There is also an auto dismissal setting you can do. So like I said, I'm at the point where I only want level 8 cats. So I've set this up to automatically dismiss any cat that's level 7 or lower when I pick it up. So now when I come here, it'll only be a bunch of 8 cats. Or if as I replace my older cats, I still have some 7s around, scattered around, I think. Yeah, see? So as soon as I replace that 7 with a better 8, I'll dismiss it and I'll never see 7s again. All right. That is more or less, one more thing in this corner. I always think I'm done, but then there's always just one more thing. No, one more thing around this corner. You can use your extra resources. See, I was talking about all the refining mats I was finding from those jump points. This comes in the form of meat, berries, wheat, and dirty water. So what you need these for is water needs to be purified, wheat needs to be baked, berries need to get turned into jam, and the meat needs to be dried into jerky. So you need to have these resources, or you won't make these. This will, if I don't have any meat here, this will go down to 0 per hour. It doesn't matter that they're working, doesn't matter that I have money to pay them, they have no meat. So you got to continuously keep these resources up. But if you go into the calculator that I was showing you, you will realize that, well, jerky only sells for 12 versus 96 for dazzling. So these things don't sell for that much, but you do produce a lot of them per hour. See, I'm making 1,700 per hour, or 1,700 per hour there versus 200 per hour here. The jerky comes out to about 20,000 versus the 22,000 order value per hour. But I also have really bad jerky workers and really good dazzling workers. But the point is, you'll find this balance out to, find the strategy that is best for you and your current workers. But if you have an excess of resources for whatever reason, you can come here and I can trade 96,000, 9,600 for a pile of Oasis coins. It'll give me 600 Oasis coins instead. Honestly, I don't think that's worth it. I don't plan on doing that. Here, you can now, if you have extra coins, you can spend 50,000 coins and you get a random Netherrealm probe. The probes are like extra beacons that you can run. They're in the top slot of the Netherrealm map area. Before you go in, there's a probe slot. So it's like an extra compass, and you can buy them here with your extra cat gold. Or you can do what I like to do, which are these gliders. So now we're going to go over these gliders. So what I like to do with the gliders is obviously put the best guys you can in here. For me, I like to have surprise events in all of them. If I can, see 6%, 10%, 10%. Then I want to have one double and at least one additional, which this one has. And then the third one can be, a double or an additional, whichever you have, or whichever one you prefer. Then you ship them out. It takes about 10 minutes times 3 because it does 3 back and forth. So it's about 30 minutes a cycle-ish, give or take. Some of them are faster, some of them are longer. You come back, you settle them, and the rewards are various. Sometimes they're amazing. Sometimes you're like, oh, 1 FE. But the point is, you get these probes and they show up. These are the surprise events. The battles are where you get most of the probes, in my opinion. And the probes are the money. Some of them go up for 40, 50 bucks or more. Some of them are 10 bucks. Especially the deep space ones are more valuable. So it only takes a few, 30 seconds to get in and out of these. Is it the most biggest farm in the world? Not really, but for 30 seconds of my passive time to come in here and fight these guys, as you can see, it's really easy. It's not a big deal. I only got 1 probe. This is always bad in the videos. No, sometimes there's bigger explosions than that, and it's pretty good. You do get to go over here. Then there's another 3 will settle up. You do a quick little battle over here, and hopefully this will give us a bigger explosion. If you do have the Sandlord pet, you do want to keep it running here. this has a chance to times 2 the loot. Now, I haven't really experimented too much with, oh, should I run a Kong in here? Should I run a Happy Chonky or a Cold Daughter? Should I run, you know, Doro in here? I haven't really tested that out. I've just been running those pets, hoping to times 2 the orders. So there's another probe. That's about 30-40 bucks, depending on the probe. All right, we go here for another settle. There you go. She procced, gives us a little jiggle. And now we get times 2. See, this probe here is worth about 50 bucks. Right? So right there, I got 2 of them. That's 100 bucks. So everyone gets distracted. They're like, oh, I only made $2. I only made $2. Now I made about 100 bucks. And it literally took me 10 seconds to do this. More because I was in a video. Right? Sometimes you don't get any. It's the way she goes. Now, what you can do is this. This is very important. This is what I like to do because see how this team is much stronger, higher mods and everything. It is a stronger team than this team, let alone the other teams that I can make. These teams aren't even anywhere near as good as these 2 teams. So what I like to do is I will clock them out because there is a 0 out of 3 here, right? They have no charges here. So it's a 0 out of 3. I'll move them up here now to go over here. And this has a charge, so we'll put all my cats back in here. Additional reward, that's the one we want. And now it has 1 out of 3 charges. I will now deploy this here for free. What happens if, so I can now also move these 3 cats to here, and I can ship these ones out for free. But what happens if you don't have any charges, you don't have any 1s out of 3s? You can still send your cats at the cost of 24,888 coins. So essentially 25,000 every 30 minutes. Now, is this worth doing? Is it worth paying 25,000 every 30 minutes to do this, to come back here to do about a 30-second to 2-minute fight sequence to get anywhere from, you know, 10 FE to 500 FE, depending on what kind of explosions you get? It can be. And in my opinion, it's not so bad, especially if you're maintaining the gold. I'm at the point where I have such a surplus in gold, and if, as you can see, I have 8 days worth, 1.3 million coins. I'm at the point where I can sustain shipping out 25, maybe even 50,000 an hour. So two gliders every hour, or every half hour, because they go for every half hour, sorry. So for every half hour, that's 50,000 coins. If I'm in a map with my void chart, with my compasses in deep space, farming efficiently, I can make anywhere from 80 to 100,000 in a half hour. So not only am I getting enough to support 2 gliders, I'm also still making 50,000 to go into my stockpile here to continue to pay for things. So is it worth it? It's worth it if you can sustain the gold. If you don't plan to actively farm gold, no. Do not send your gliders out. Even the free ones cost money because they have an hour, you know, they cost money to fly, 7,000, 8,000 an hour. So that's 4,000 for that half-hour journey. It does cost money, and if you're not actively farming it, maybe you want to keep your money to be passive. That's a you decision. If you are actively farming it, I can support 2 gliders, no problem. So it's definitely worth it if you actively keep farming it. All right, now the grand finale of the event. As we've went over, we do have the pet. This is, in my opinion, what makes this pet ridiculously strong. Is the ability here, 60% chance to regain the invested resources and immediately settle the rewards. This is, I can't put an FE per hour value on this. This is insane amounts of value because it takes about a week, sometimes more, to get 40 million to do this. And this will give me my 40 million back instantly. And it'll give it back to me. It'll settle it, and maybe even times 2 it. And I don't have to wait a week, and I can keep shipping it, blah, blah, blah. That is phenomenal. It is ridiculous. We are going to do that. I wanted to do one thing, go over the gliders. We went over this, level 8s, the highest things you can get. We're going to deploy that. We're going to the jungle island. We're going to full load it up. We're going to find the one that makes me get 40 million. It's got to be somewhere here. Which one was it? This one maybe? No, that one doesn't do it. This one, that one doesn't do it. Try again. Was it this one? No, try again. This one, 93, 99. No, try again. There we go, 40 million. We're gonna ship it. Confirm it. Yeah. We're sending lots. We're sending the airship 1 with all the best things. We're gonna pray for the cat to proc. Let's go. It didn't proc. No. Well, that sucks. You don't get the fun little ending to the video. So now we wait 3 hours. And when it comes back, we're gonna have a massive shipment of over 2,000 FE worth of stuff the last few times I've done this. So it's worth it. It's definitely worth doing this. I wish I got it to proc. That would have been a great addition to the video. So there you go. Sorry that didn't happen. Oh well, that's about everything you need to know about Sandlord. So quick recap, you have to level it up starting from level 1, follow the side mini quest on the side. You need to force it into your maps via a compass or the void chart. During 7s, 8s, and profounds, I recommend cutting out the nightmare and the arcana part of this tree and investing it all into cube will be a better use, or all into drop quantity and just doing the carjack and the Sandlord and nothing else is also an option. Once you get to deep space, I prefer doing this version to get more value out of my deep space while I'm farming the sand coins. I will also, if you need, here is the calculator. I will be posting my void chart, my calculator, and why not? We'll put the loot filter in the description below. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, if this helps you. If I've missed anything, be sure to point it out to me and I'll be able to update you guys. And if you haven't, be sure to like and subscribe to get more Torchlight videos in the future. All right, I know this was a long one. Hopefully it was helpful, and I will catch you all in the next video. Happy hunting. Bye-bye.